Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here, and we are playing some Front Office Football 7. We are 0-3. Yep, 0-3. We do go against Oakland this week, so we may pick up our first win. Play in Chicago. So they're going. Marcel Reese is doubtful. They will have Jameez Alawali come out here in fullback. Matt McGloin, backup quarterback. My guess is Derek Carr got beat up or was injured, and so Mac McGloin is questionable. Amari Cooper, the stellar rookie, is out. He will not be playing. It looks like it'd be Rob Streer coming in for that 1 or 2 spot there. Michael Crabtree's on the other side. Ben Heasley will be in here, but he's just a backup middle linebacker. So, if Derek Carr, Latavius Murray can be dangerous. One of his big things, he's a speed guy, good at eluding tackles, stuff like that, like it says. Like I said, Jameez Alawali will be fullback. Michael Rivera will be the tight end. Crabtree and Rod Stritter will be the 1 and 2 receivers. On the line, it'll be Penn, Jackson, Hudson, former Bear, Jamarcus Webb, and Austin Howard. So, I mean, on the line, other than Hudson, I mean, they're still building right now. Like, this is a second-year guy. Hudson's a fifth-year guy. They came over from the Chiefs. Jamarcus Webb, former Bear, really not good in run blocking. And then Howard's a 6-year guy, undrafted. So their defense, though, Khalil Mack, star of the defense, doing some work. Dan Williams, Andy Madsen, and Justin Tuck. It will have Malcolm Smith coming over from the Seahawks, Curtis Lofton being in the middle, and Aldon Smith coming over from the 49ers. Another good staple on this defense. Corners will be DJ Hayden and David Emerson. Emerson coming from Washington. Safeties being Nate Allen and a longtime vet, Charles Woodson. So let's see how this game goes. They are 1 and 2. So they say Cutler's better than Carr. Okay, running back comparison. I don't know about that again. I still think Forte's better. Our receivers are better. I mean, if Mari Cooper's out there, maybe it's a tie, but who knows? Their offensive line is better than ours. Okay. Their defensive line, yes, pretty much because like Justin Tuck and Khalil Mack. Secondary comparison, debatable. I mean, they do have Charles Woodson. Special teams on our side, coaching is the same. Corners and wide receivers are the same. Our receivers are better than their corners. Their blockers against our front seven, okay. And somehow our blockers against their front seven are better. I don't know about that. So, total yards per game, we're 27th. Total yards allowed per game, we're 19th. So, I mean, we're getting up there, but still not getting any turnovers. We're still in the lower half of the league. But rushing yards per carry, we're 6th. But we need to just figure out our lives right now. Okay, we are projecting 1 by 2. Debatable, but okay. So we will get the ball first. So Cutler to Matt Forte for 1 yard. Cutler to Marquise Wilson for 13, getting a first down there. Cutler sacked by Dan Williams, Justin Tuck. Forte catches the ball for 10, 3rd and 6. Cutler to Matt Forte loses 2 there, so we're going to kick back. So David Carr out there, Latavius Murray loses 4. Gives Latavius Murray gains 6. They get a false start, 3rd and 13. Give it to Bose. He only gets 3. Punt back to us. So Cutler to Anton Smith has 31 yards there. That's why he's a 2nd or 3rd back there. Forte getting 11 there. 1st and goal. Forte rushes for 8 and a touchdown. So we've already got a touchdown here. Latavius Murray goes for 1. 2nd 9. Carter Streeter for 6. Latavius Murray gets 35 yards, and that's why he's so good. Evading tackles there. Murray gets 1 yard. And Roy Halou out there loses 1. 3rd and 10 to Rod Streeter, and that is dropped. So punt it back to us. Langford gets 6. And Khalil Mack actually recovers and returns to 13 yards. Streeter catches it for 8. They're on the 5. Halou loses 2. Goal line stand. DeBose for 5. He's short, but they get a first down. And here's Borer loses 1. Second 3 from the 3. Murray stop for no gain. Third and 3 on the 3. Can we stop him? Streeter juggles and drops it. And they actually missed. Actually, they did get the 3 points. Okay. Bennett gets that reception for 2. Alshon Jeffrey and Just Tuck bats it down the line. Down to Jeffrey is just colors under pressure. And here's Acho blitzing. Halou gets 6. Boyer goes for 3. Third and 1. To Murray. Loses 2, and that is 4th down. Punt it back to us. Cutler to Forte for 2. Here's Cutler to our Perdanish for 9 yards. There's one of Forte for 7 yards. Good run. Forte drops a pass there. Rare. Third and 3 to Forte. Loses 1. So punt it back to Carr. Carr flips to Murray for 5 yards. This one to Crabtree for 7. Carl Latavius Murray gets 3. Second 7. Murray goes for 2. Third and 5. Can we stop him? Alex Chiwaka gets 6. First and 10. Borer loses 2. Tavis Murray loses 3. But looks like there's a penalty there. Crabtree goes for 5. Third and 3. Murray catches it for 12. That's a first down. False start, so first and 15. Borer gets 5, making second 10. Latavius Murray gets 7 yards. Third and 3. Carr to DeBose. He loses 1. They are going to go for it, and it looks like Shea McCullum made a good stop there. We'll have to see what that was. I missed it. Forte gained 6. The previous play, there's a penalty. There's a Cutler pass that's knocked down. One to Eddie Royal who drops it. Punt it back. We get on the 5 there. Barr gets 2. Second and 8. Carr scrounges for 9. First down. Sacked by Eddie Goldman. Finally, we get something. Rod Streeter that's knocked down at the line. One to Crabtree for 9 yards. 4th and 7 is going to be punted back. We get 36 yards to do something, or 36 seconds. But Tuck's going to get that sack. One to Eddie Royal for 12 yards. Defensive holding. Cutler sacked again by Khalil Mack. They get an encroachment. Cutler throws to White, gets 9 yards, but we can't get another playoff. So Murray loses 6 there in that run. One to Streeter, and that's looks like Houston got a little pressure. Chiwaka doesn't go anything. There was a encroachment. Forte gets 8. Now Forte gets 4. First down. Forte catches one for 16 yards. Giving Forte the handoff, stop for no gain. There's Cutler throwing to Forte, makes a catch, gets 65 yards and a touchdown. Yes. So finally, there's Murray gets 5 yards. Second 5. That pass is dropped by Murray. One to DeBose, gets 6 yards. First down. Carr scrambles for 7. Carr flicks the pass to Murray, goes nowhere on the screen pass. Third and 3. Chickawama gets 3 or 7 a first down. That last one's dropped. Crabtree is knocked down by Amos though. One to Streeter, he can't get to the ball, so it's underthrown. So Cutler to Forte for 8 yards. Second and 2. Forte gets 5 in the first down. Cutler to Forte goes for 4. Cutler to Forte again for 2. Third and 4. Slinked Eddie Royal for 11 yards in the first down. So one to Langford for 4. Cutler to Langford again for 1. Third and 5. One to Kevin White, catches the ball, only gets 1 though. So we're going to punt it back. Carr, that's tip pass intercepted by Tracy Porter. There's Langford going for 1. Forte loses 4. Third and 13. And there's Cutler sacked by Malcolm Smith. So we're going to punt back. So Carr, that's a hurry throw by Houston. Good job. Murray goes for no gain. Third and 10. Rivera gets 10 and a first down. So we're going to the fourth quarter. Carr to Walford. Offensive holding though. So that's going to be a loss of 10. DeBose gets 9. Second and 11. A bomb to DeBose for 41 yards. He comes down with it. Crabtree drops the ball. False start. Second 15. Crabtree catches the ball for 21 yards. First and goal from the 9, Rod Streeter gets that 9-yard touchdown pass, making a 4-point game. There's Cutler to Langford, loses 1. There's Cutler to Alshon Jeffrey, catches the ball for 13 yards on first down. Cutler to Langford gets 1. Cutler to Matt Forte gets 7 yards. Good blocking there. There's Cutler and can't get it to one there. He's going to punt it back. So Carr hurls the ball deep, overthrown. Murray loses 4, forced out of bounds. Murray gets 1, just stays out of the end zone. So it's going to punt it back to us. Cutler to Bennett makes a catch for 3 yards. There's Cutler slinging around. Unnecessary roughness, though. And we get 2 false starts. Cutler to Forte for 8 yards. Second and 12. Jeffrey makes a catch for 23 yards. Gets down to the 1. Gives to Forte, and he punches it in. So 21-10. David Carr. That's dropped by DeBose. Here's Carr fired through Crabtree. Knocked down the line. DeBose can't get anything. Carr was hurried. And DeBose drops and juggles it. So we get another one here. We do get a fumble by Langford, but it's recovered. Forte gets 2. Forte gets 2. Robbie Gold's going to come out and get his goal. Goes 3 more. Make it 24-10. So Carr's incomplete there. Ziggy Hood getting that sack. And that one's blocked by Sam Acho at the line. Slinging another one and doesn't go anywhere. So Cutler given to Pordanish for 4 yards. So Langford loses 2 there. Illegal use of the hands out and a false start, making second 21. Forte rushes for 3. Oakland calls another timeout. So Forte goes for 3. Another timeout by Oakland. And that one actually comes off, actually hits the goalpost and goes in. So Carr to Streeter for 5 yards. So Carr to Chickawaga for 10 yards. 18 seconds left. A bomb badly overthrown. 6 seconds left. And that flutter's intercepted by Antron Roll. And that will be your ball game. We finally come up with our first win of the season. Ugly win, but a win just the same. So, how effective are we at third down? 1. 1 of 10. 10% completion on third down. That needs to change. I mean, just wow. I don't even know what to say. Our red zone, though, we were effective. We came up with points every single time. Came up with 2 touchdowns. No, 3 touchdowns. And 2 field goals. So, let's see. Forte, 19 carries, 69 yards. Langford, 7 carries, 11 yards. Forte had 2 touchdowns. Latavius Murray, 16 carries for 42 yards. So David Carr, 23 of 45, 192, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Cutler, on the other hand, 17 of 24, 22 yards, or 222 yards. Took another 4 sacks, 1 touchdown, and had a 113 rating. So, DeBose, 6 catches, 63 yards. I mean, other than that, we kept everyone under 50 yards. Roster did have that short yardage touchdown. On our side, Forte, 7 catches for a $107, 1 rushing touchdown. So, I mean, he had 3 touchdowns by himself. But other than that, just nothing else going in the passing game. Interceptions, Roll, Porter, and Shea McCullen all come up with 1 interception. They have forced 2 fumbles. Khalil Mack did recover that one. That was by, both of them were by Langford. DeCoste does come up with 1 there. Robbie Gold did hit both those field goals, so that is good. Defense, Goldman and Hood both have a sack apiece. Roll has the most tackles, and Harold Jones quarters behind him. Shea McClellan's still up there with 6. And so is Christian Jones. So for them, Malcolm Smith had 1. Justin Tuck had a sack and a half, shares it with Dan Williams, and then Khalil Mack had his 1 sack. We had 2 blocks, 4 hurries, and 1 knockdown. They only had 1 block and 1 hurry. That's probably the biggest factor there of us being able to move the ball downfield. So McClellan is healthy. Miller is still probable. Alshon Jeffrey's probable. And Bruce Callahan is probable. He has a bad cold. We are probably going to activate Hurst here. honestly. Put in Jones Quarty here and Hurst here. Jones Quarty. And this one, this nickel corner is probably going to be Hurst. Nope, it's going to be Amos. Amos is going to be that nickel. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still going to bring Hurst right there. I mean, that run defense is big still. Maybe I'll put Hurst here. He's not good at zone. Might look at picking up another corner. Depending. Let's pull some Zach Bowman. Kyle Arrington. Josh Thomas. Josh Robinson. McFadden. Jones, Allen Ball, no part of Allen Ball whatsoever. Sure, man, that's the reason why I cut him. Cassie's Fawn, same thing. Special teams player. Darren Wall, same thing with him. Ooh. Why is Josh Norman out here? That is big. Whoops. Yeah. We're picking up Josh Norman. Definitely. Okay, let's submit the offer. Can't believe this. Josh Norman was actually out there. Well, I can. So let's change this up. Josh Norman's going to be here. Porter's going to be here. Jones Quarty's going to be here. Just in case. Goal line. Josh Norman all the way. It's going to be Amos. Oh, that's going to be Norman. This is going to be Porter. Jones Quarty. Okay. Because Bruce Callahan is having a cold right now. We're going to keep him out. So we're going against Kansas City. Let's see the scouting report. So Eric Berry's doubtful, so He's not going to be playing. It's going to be Hussein Abdullah, it looks like. But he has a good affinity with Trevon Branch. Actually, Trevon Branch might actually be the one that's staying in for Eric Berry. Justin Houston is probable, so he will be out there on the strong side. And Laurent Duravery Tardif, the guard, is questionable. It looks like he will be playing now. So Alex Smith, quarterback, Jamal Charles, a very good running back. Anthony Sherman will be the fullback. Travis Kelsey, a very underrated tight end there. Macklin and Chris Conley will be their receivers. On the line, Eric Fisher, a young player, third year, former a first round pick. He's going to come up in the league big here. Ben Grubbs, another good guy, a heralded ninth year player. Mitch Morse, center, rookie, picked this past year, second round. He'll be a building block. Here's a second year player with Laurent Davy Tardif if he does play. And Terrence Givens, another rookie, and he's going to be building around here. Defense, Jay Howard, fourth year player coming over from Seahawks. Denari Poe, Allen Bailey, Justin Houston, Derek Johnson, Ramik Wilson, rookie, fourth round pick. Looks like a future solid player there. Tom Holly, Marcus Peters, a very, very good corner. And then Marcus Cooper, the third year guy, a former seventh round pick from a former 49er. Good there. So it's Trevon Branch. Looks like it will be the one starting instead of Eric Berry. So I see Hussein Abdullah is actually better than Trevon Branch. So we'll see what goes on here. Kansas City is 2-2. We're 1-3. Quarterback's about the same. Bit a better running back. Debatable. Chiefs have a better offensive line, better defensive line, better linebacker core, and we take the secondary piece. I don't know about that. We take the special teams, coaching's the same. Our wide receivers are better than their corners. Okay. Their receivers are better than our corners. Doubtful. But okay. Their front seven's better than our blockers. Oh yeah. Their blockers are better than my front seven. Okay, I'll give you that. So passing allows per game, we're tied for 8th. But our total yards per game is 21st offensively, and we are 22nd total outs allowed. So we're in the bottom half while they're 16th, 13th. We're just about the same. We do have the tie for 16th in turnovers. So I mean, we are getting somewhere here. But Kansas City is projected to win by 7. So we'll see what happens here. No longer active on your roster. Right there. It's going to be probably where's freaking well, let's put Monday out here. Actually, let's put Amos. I think we're good. Yeah. Whoops. All right. They get the ball first, though. So Alex Smith, Jamal Charles loses 2. Mitch Morse injured there, but he'll stay in the game. Macklin catches the ball for 11, 3rd and 1. Give it to Smith, loses 2. Actually, Clay. So there's penalty on us. Forte gets 6. 2nd and 4. Langford goes for 3. We get a false start, so making it 3rd and 6. Antoine Smith loses 1. So we're going to punt back. But they fumble, but they do recover. Jamal Charles gets 6. Macklin goes for 22 yards there. Josh Norman on the tackle. Jamal Charles catches the pass for 3. 2nd and 7. Charles goes for 4. They get a false start, making it 3rd and 8. Connolly gets 6. They're short. They're going to kick a field goal. It's good. So here we go. Cutler, and that's just under pressure there. Langford gets 1. 3rd and 9. Cutler just under pressure, throwing it away. Punt it back. Alex Smith loses 4. Actually, Smith, the run has 4. Clay picks up 14. 1st down. Schmiles picks up 12. Smith Sherman picks up 15. 1st and 10. Smith scrambles for 9. Smith to Macklin for 23 yards. And here's one of Jamal Charles, rushes for 1. 2nd and 9. Jamal Charles gets 5. 3rd and 4. Now Davis goes for 2. He's short. They'll kick another field goal. So here's Cutler to Matt Forte for 4 yards. Going to the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 6. We get an ineligible man downfield. Cutler can't get to Eddie Royal. Cutler flips it to Langford for 3 yards. We can't get this offense going right now. There's Macklin knocked down by Amos. Conley that's knocked out by Mundy. Conley's intercepted by Antron Roll. So Forte goes for 5. We're on the 28, 2nd and 5. Gets to White for 6 yards. 1st and 10. Langford goes for 2. We get a false start, making it 2nd and 13. Gives it to Kevin White. He loses 4. Defensive holding, no automatic 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 20. Langford loses 1. 2nd and 11. Pegs to Alshon Jeffrey for 6 yards. And that's offensive holding, so it's coming back. Forte gets 7. 3rd and 14 from the 24. That's in double coverage, knocked down. And Robbie Gold will put up 3, making it 6-3. Jamal Charles loses 4 there. Chris Conley loses 3. 3rd and 17. Jamal Charles has 39 yards. We just can't bring him down before he's evading people. There's Willie Young on the sack. The fisherman. And there's Avant only getting 3. 3rd and 13. Conley gets 16 for a 1st down. Jason Avant. Ziggy Hood rushes the throw incomplete. Now Davis goes for 2. 3rd and 8. Now Davis gets 19 yards and a touchdown. Wow, they bring the change of pace back. There's Cutler to White for 6 yards. And, well, fumble. Tavon Brands brings it back for a touchdown. There's Jeffrey for 7 yards. There's Jeffrey catches it for 3 yards. Forte stop for no gain. 2nd and 10. Forte gets 9 yards. 3rd and 1. Forte gets 2 yards in the 1st down. There's Cutler ran back, but it's just bad throw. There's one A Royal knocked down. Cutler sacked by Houston. So here's now Davis gets 3 yards. Macklin gets 15 yards and goes out of bounds. Come on, guys. Smith scrambling, but he loses 6. Josh Norman's hurt there. McPhee blocks the pass. 3rd and 16. Macklin catches for 9, so it's punted back to us. So we have 45 seconds left. Forte goes for 5, where he's going to run out the clock. So we get the ball back. So Cutler to White. White catches it for 23 yards. So here is Forte gets 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Langford makes a reception for 3. 3rd and 3. Cutler to White for 5 yards on a 1st down. Cutler to Bennett makes a catch for 17 yards after faking out a defender. 1st and 10 from the 28. Forte for 12 yards. Good blocking there. 1st and 10. And Marquise Wilson, 16-yard touchdown, making it a 9-point game. Now Davis goes for 4. We stop here. Smith evades and scrambles for 6. 1st down. Charles gets 3. We get unnecessary roughness on Mac 1st down. Charles gets an opening for 12. There's Kelsey getting it for 10. 1st down. One Jamal Charles for 11. 1st down, but they get offensive holding, so it's coming back. 1st and 10. Hakeem loses that one. Smith loses 1. One to Conley, but it's intercepted by Amos. So Zach Miller goes for 12. We're rolling here. Mo Perdanish gets 5. There's Alshon Jeffrey for 3. 3rd and 2. Can we convert? Forte into the secondary for 11 yards and a first down. Cutler evades and scrambles for 7. 2nd, 3. Royal, 13 yards, first down. First attempt from 23, and Cutler sacked there. One to Martellus Bennett for 5 yards. 3rd and 13 from 26. Cutler flicks it to Forte for 10 yards. He's going to be short. We do get the 3 points from Robbie Gould, making it a 6-point game. There's Jamal Charles, loses 1. And there is a sack by Sam Acho. And that is incomplete intended for Macklin. So they're going to punt back. We get a good return there. Forte loses 4. He's pushed out of bounds. Langford gets a catch for 1. 3rd and 13. Cutler slings it, and that is overthrown, but it's offsides there. Jeffrey gets 1, and it's kicked by Robbie Gould, getting us 3 yards there. After a holding there, Davis gets 10 yards. They started from the 2. Conley gets a catch for 17 yards, first down. 1 and now Davis for 8 yards because we just can't stop Kansas City right now. There's one to Jamal Charles, no gain. 3rd and 2 now Davis, good for 7 yards, but he fumbles it. It'll be recovered by Kansas City. Charles gets 9 yards. We can't get these fumbles. Charles, no gain. We were ready for that. 3rd and 1. Charles, 6 yards, first down. There's one to Jamal Charles, good for 4 yards. One to Smith for 4 yards. Josh Norman's out for the remainder of the game. Now Davis for 20 yards. Come on, guys. There's Charles getting 1. Davis loses 2. 3rd and 13 from the 16. Sling to Chris Conley, and that's knocked down by Fuller. They'll only get 3 yards or 3 points from that. So Forte is good for 2. It's a 6-point game. Sling to Kevin White and 78-yard touchdown, making it a 1-point lead for Chicago. Smith to Macklin for 5 yards. 4 seconds left. Conley gets it for 8 yards. Can we stop them? 4:27 left. Charles gets 4 yards. Charles gets 6 yards there. First attempt from the 47. Charles loses 2. 2nd and 12. Avant overthrown. 2nd and 12. Smith grounds for 1. It's going to be punted back. We have a minute 47. We do get a false start. There's Forte for 4 yards, and it is picked up by Chicago on the fumble there. 2nd and 8. Langford gets the first down. Kansas City calls another timeout. Langford gets 2. They call their final timeout. Forte goes for 4. 3rd and 8. Cutler to Forte gets 9. First down. Cutler to Forte gets 10 yards. First down, but we get a holding there. So 1st and 20. Forte gets 1. It'll be knee down. We come down with our 2nd win of the season. 1-point game of St. Kansas City in Kansas City. Let's look at that box score. That was a rough one. What's our first down? 3rd down conversion still 4 of 11. We let them convert almost, almost half. Damn near half. More like a 37 or 42% there. And we're about like a 43%. So, we did have that fumble. But other than that, we did do some good things. We had a couple interceptions. So, Jamal Charles, 17 carries, 86 yards. Now Davis, 8 carries, 34 yards. It was 34 yards for Now Davis. 11 were first downs. Forte, 16 carries, 74 yards. Langford came in with 6 carries, 11 yards. Forte had 2 10-yard plus rushes. So Cutler, 21 of 27, very efficient today. 223, took 2 sacks this time instead of 4, like normal. 2 touchdowns and a 125 rating. So Alex Smith, 22 of 32, 237, took 2 sacks, a 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 74 completion percentage. On the passing, Jamal Charles, 6 catches, 31 yards, but Jimmy Macklin, 6 catches for 85 yards, and Chris Conley, 5 for 54 otherwise. Pedestrian game there. Now Davis does have the touchdown catch. Does catch both of his catches for 39 yards. Kevin White, 5 catches, $118, 1 touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey and everyone else just not there, essentially. Our 2 interceptions, both by our safeties, Antron Roll and Amos. Amos, that one's from a bomb on like 20 in the fourth quarter, and Roll came up with that one the second quarter, I think it was. Let's see. No, that was in the second quarter he came up with that one. Amos came up with his in the third. So fumble. Forte fumbled, White fumbled. Jeffrey did recover one. And then on defense, we did have two forced, and we didn't recover any of those. It was fumbled by Miles Davis. And Philip Gaines actually, I think he came down with this interception, maybe one of these fumbles, and fumbled it, and one of our guys picked it up again. And Trevon Branch recovered this one, took it for a touchdown. Field goals. Let's look at the sacks. Houston had one, and Mike DeVito had the other one. For us, Sam Acho had one, and Willie Young, the fisherman there, getting the second one. Block. McPhee block went the line, and Ziggy Hood and Lamar Houston made a couple of hurries there. I mean, they have one block, 4 hurries, 4 knockdowns. So that's not the greatest one. 2 interceptions. We had 3 defensed. They had 1 defensed and no interceptions. That's one of the biggest things that changed the game there, probably. So we go into Detroit at 2-3. Green Bay is still 5-0. Minnesota's lost. Looks like their first time. And we're going to an 0-5 Detroit right now. Callahan is 100%. Josh Norman is questionable. So it looks like we're going to be holding out Josh Norman here. We'll activate Bruce Callahan. So it's going to be Porter. It's going to be Callahan. Porter. No, this is going to be Porter. This is going to be Callahan. Porter. This one's going to be Callahan. Okay. I mean, really, I am higher on Marquise Wilson right now. I mean, in all honesty. Another thing is, how many sacks have you given up this year? 4. You've given up 4 sacks. Look how long. 3. Goose. Given up 1. Slauson's given up 3. Will Montgomery is giving up 6. So this is already changing, ladies and gentlemen. Hornus Grisao is going to take over Will Montgomery. So that just happened. One thing we're also going to do as well is I think we have to change this. It's going to be Callahan. Yeah. That looks good. Whoops. Am I at 46? Yeah, I am. All right. So, we are. Let's see. We can probably fit in one more. Scouting report. Sean. Actually, let's look at this. James Ibadego is probable. Looks like he's going to be held out though. Grover Clynn is probable. He will be playing the strong safety. Matthew Stanford is out. It's like a severe ankle injury, a ruptured Achilles tendon. He is out for the rest of the season. Looks like he took a hit in week 2 after they lost. So it'll be Sean Hill bringing it down the rest of the season. He's released by Minnesota and signed week 3. So it looks like he actually went down in week 2, and then they signed Sean Hill in week 3. Golden Tate's out, so it's going to be Corey Fuller is going to be the starter. Kyle Fuller's brother. Jork Bell is questionable. Looks like it's going to be Amir Abdullah. Ezekiel Anza's out as well, so that's going to be Jason Jones. Actually, we might have to look at the roster there. And Eric Ebron's out. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to look at this roster. The Lions. Detroit. Okay. All right. So Sean Hill. We starting Amir Abdullah, Michael Burton. So since Eric Ebron's there, looks like it's probably going to be Brandon Pettigrew. Will be the one that's going to be starting. One likely. Right. No, it might be right. Calvin Johnson, Corey Fuller, Riley Rafe. So they're good all there. Ezekiel Anza. So it could be Daryl Top that comes in, or Walker. Could be Devin Taylor as well. Looks like. Free safety. Quinn is Miles, so he might be coming in. DeAndre Levy, Stephen Tulloch's going to be there. Josh Bynes, Slay. Rasheed Mathis. Wow. And then Ian Lorraine, it looks like he's going to be their rookie free safety. So that is quite a roster than we're used to. So obviously Cutler's better than Hill. Forte's better than Amir Abdullah. Better receiver comparison. Offensive line, they're better. Debatable. Maybe because of reserves. Our defensive line is better than the Lions. Okay, without Sue, yeah. Linebackers the same. Secondary, I don't know about that. Pretty sure my secondary is better. Special teams the same. Coaching the same. Our receivers are better than their corners. Okay, I'll take that. Their receivers are better than my corners. Okay. Our blockers, or their front seven is better than my blockers. Probably not. And their blockers better than my front seven. Okay. We're 12th in turnovers. We're 9th in passing yards per game. We're 29th in rushing yards, though, now. Making us the 22nd ranked defense and 21st ranked offense. No, 22nd ranked offense, 21st ranked defense. All right, they're saying we should win by 3. So let us see what happens in Detroit here. This will be a longer episode. So Detroit's going to get this one. He'll give it to Amir Abdullah, getting 14 yards on a first down. Good block there. Abdullah goes 1. Second 9. Riddick loses 3. Third and 12. And Hill sacked by Jarvis Jenkins. So that one's broken up. It looks like there was an issue there. But that's a tipped ball by Lamont Burrow intercepted. One of our reserve linebackers coming through. Langford picks up 7. Third and 7. White catches one for 16 yards on a first down. Cutler drops back to White, gets 6 yards there. Second and 4. Forte rushes for 5, making it first and goal from the 9. So Cutler snapped by Grover Klin. Forte gets 6. Third and 10 from the 10. Teddy Royal catches it. 10-yard touchdown. Looks like he's doing good in that 4th receiver spot. So Amir Abdullah goes for no gain. One to Corey Fuller, his brother Kyle Fuller on the coverage there. And that's a drop pass. So put it back, but we get a holding on that one. Forte goes for 9. Second and 1. Forte makes a catch for 5. First down. First and 10 from the 20. Forte, that's knocked down by Levy. Forte gets 13 yards on that rush and a first down. Langford goes and loses 4 there. Second 14. 1 to Kevin White, gets 18 yards, fakes out a defender. Good play there. Langford loses 4. Second 14, another one to Kevin White, and that's incomplete. Knocked down by Slay. One to Bennett for 13. He's a yard short, so it's going to punt it back. So Riddick loses 6 there. Second 16, Amir Abdullah fumbles the ball. It is recovered by Detroit. One to Calvin Johnson for 23 yards. He'll have a first down. So one to Amir Abdullah, no gain. Second 10, Hill to Corey Fuller, and Fuller drops it. So Lance Moore, and Lance Moore drops it. So punt it back to Chicago. Bennett making a reception for 14 yards, a first down going into the second quarter. Bennett gets another catch, this one for 3. Second 7, this one to Jeffrey. It's a reverse for 7 yards and a first down. One to Marquise Wilson. Cutler was under pressure there. There's a Langford running for 11 yards, but it's going to be holding, and then they get a false start. Langford loses 1 there. Third and 26, Forte is going to lose 3, and he's going to be punted back. So Hill to St. Clair for 7 yards. Second 3, Lance Moore loses 1. Third and 4, give it to Corey Fuller, gets 10 yards and a first down. Hill to Riddick loses 3. Second 13, sacked by Jarvis Jenkins. So Sean Hill gets to Calvin Johnson for 25 yards and a first down. First and 10 from the 25, Riddick gets nothing. Gives to Calvin Johnson, gets 25 yards and a first down. So it's tied at 7. So Cutler to Forte loses 3. False start, second 18 from the 6. Forte catches the pass for 20 yards on first down. First 10 from the 26. Forte goes for 2 yards. 4:50 left. Forte goes for 6. There's an offsides there. We'll take the offsides. Forte loses 6. Third and 9, loses 1. So we punt it back. So after a false start, Hill to Wright for 8 yards. So Hill to Fuller for 25 yards. Hill to Fuller again for 18. 2:02 left. Johnson for 19-yard touchdown to make it 14-7. So Forte breaks a couple of tackles for 9 yards. $1:25 left. And there's Langford, breaks a 44-yard run, but it's holding. So third and 6. Forte has 32 yards, but it's the end of the quarter. So we get the ball back starting the third quarter, and there's Forte for 11 yards. We get a false start. And there's Cutler sacked on, probably looks like a blitz there from the corner. Forte rushes for 8. Langford catches the ball, just doesn't have anywhere to go to. So punted to Detroit. Moore drops the pass there. Emil Dula goes nowhere there. Third and 10, Timothy Wright breaks one for 27 yards and a first down. My God. Abdullah goes for 7. Porter is down, so he's out for the remainder of the game. Nothing on that one. Wynn gets 1 yard and goes nowhere, so it's going to be kicked for a field goal. 10-point game. Cutler sacked. Looks like Cutler is going to be down, but he does fumble. Offensive holding. Mayor Abdullah gets 5, gets the holding back. Second 10. Mass runs for 1. Third and 9. Lance Moore, 9-yard touchdown. My God, how did this game get away from us? So Cutler throws to White for 12 yards. Matt Forte goes in the secondary for 10 yards. One to Martellus Bennett for 17 yards and a first down. One to Kevin White makes a catch for 15. First and 10 for 26. That's tipped the line. Second 10. 1 to 14 for 17. First and goal from the 9. Langford loses 3. Color to Marquise Wilson. Unnecessary roughness, automatic first down. Forte for 5 yards. Fumble, and Detroit picks it up. Come on, guys. Riddick goes for 6. Theo Riddick goes for 4. They fumble. Sean Hill recovers. They fumbled 4 times and they've recovered. Riddick gets 10. Turnovers to kill us this game. Abdullah gets 7. Second 3. Abdullah gets 2. Abdullah goes for 1. First down. TJ Jones, that's knocked down by Kyle Fuller. Theo Riddick loses 6. Unnecessary roughness by us because we're not disciplined. Riddick goes for 3. Offensive holding is coming back. Abdullah goes for 1. Hill goes to Corey Fuller. That's incomplete. Third 19. Johnson goes for 11. Illegal contact, automatic first down. So that's knocked down by Houston. Abdullah goes for 1. Third and 9. Burton loses 1. So it's going to be kicked back to us. So Cutler, screen, doesn't go anywhere. Cutler to Alshon Jeffrey for 13 yards. Cutler to Marquise Wilson for 3 yards. Second, 7. Forte rush goes for 8. There, first and 10. White drops the ball. Cutler scrambles for 5. Cutler to Marquise Wilson for 11. Cutler to Marquise Wilson for 32 yards, making a good play there. Eddie Royal, that's nowhere. False start. Alshon Jeffrey for 11 yards. Third and 4. We need to convert here. 1 to Kevin White for 9 yards. That's a first down. We get to the 1. Give it to Alshon Jeffrey. 1 yard touchdown. Make it a 10-point game. So there's a false start. Mir Abdullah loses 1. When Mir Abdullah loses 1 again. Balls loose. Ziggy Hood picks it up. There's 1 to Eddie Royal for 12 yards. It's slain over to Matt Forte. No, he's going to run for 8 yards, actually. From the 5, Langford goes for 3. On the 2, gives the Forte, loses 1. Third and 3. White goes for 1. Third and 2. Forte loses 3. We get a holding penalty. We'll have another one. And that's stop for no gain. We will kick it, make it a 7-point game. So Hill to Abdullah for 5 yards. Come on, we know they're going to run, guys. Abdullah only gets 1 there. Third and 4. Abdullah again loses 1. Jarvis Jenkins gets injured on a play, minor injury. So here we go. To Alshon Jeffrey, 22 yards on a first down. 2-minute warning. White gets 23 yards there. First and 10. Alshon Jeffrey, that's just a hurried throw. 1 to Eddie Royal, and that is taken down by Diggs. Cutler sacked. Come on, guys. 1 to Kevin White, and that's batted down. So Mir Abdullah gets 6. We call timeout. Second and 4. Expects a run, loses 2. And there's another knee. Oh, because we ran out of timeouts. Come on. We lost this game. Just horrible. What killed us? 5-11. We let them go 50%. We're about 47. This is what killed us. Fumble. Like, couldn't go on. We had an interception, a fumble against us, but we fumbled on our own 20. These 2 fumbles after 1 play, and then we actually fumbled shy of actually scoring. We fumbled on like the 2. So Mir Abdullah 18 for 37. We knocked down their rushing game here. Forte 21 carries for a $113. Good there. Langford just couldn't get it going. Cutler 24-35, 303. Took another 4 sacks, 2 touchdowns. 16-25 for Sean Hill, 202, 1 sack, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's really just Calvin Johnson killed us. 4 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lance Moore had a short pass there. Corey Fuller, 3 catches, 53 yards. Kevin White, 7 catches, 99 yards, but from there, just nothing there. Lyman Barrow had that interception that was tipped the line. Look at all these fumbles. Amir Abdullah fumbles twice. We know he's fumble prone, and Theo Riddick does it, but we just can't recover. We get that one from actually we got the one from Theo Riddick that we recovered, but really couldn't do anything. We hit their field goals. Condre Diggs, now that sack's probably a blitz from the corner, from the nickel position. Safety blitz. Devin Taylor gets to him too. Jason Jones and Gabe Wright. So I mean, looks like that's a guard. That's a tackle issue. That's over Bushra, I think, and this is over Slauson. Sack. Jarvis Jenkins has 1. That's their only sack, really. We get 1 knockdown. They get 2 blocks, 5 hurries, 4 knockdowns. We're not getting pressure on the quarterback. So Cutler is sprained neck probable, 2 weeks. He's going to be playing. Jarvis Jenkins is going to be out. So that's big. So, Jarvis Jenkins. Jarvis Jenkins is out. A. Goldman has a broken toe. He'll be playing. Josh Norman still has a sprained knee. He's out. So Tracy Porter. High ankle sprain. He's out. So that means we're cutting Antoine Smith. We're going to activate Jacques Rogers. We're going to activate Kyrie Lee. We're going to have to get another corner for safety. Go Roby. Another guy that I'm intrigued why it was cut. Might pick up him. Patrick Chung, Jamarcus Sanford. Kelsey McCray. Joe Godfrey. Levine. Don't see anyone in here. Kari Ramble. Small roll. Yep, we're picking him up. Nicole Roby. Yeah, because Cassius Vaughn's not up there. It's not someone I'm pulling here. Marcus Cromartie. Neither is he. Okay. Let's bring him in. It's going to be a 1-year deal. So we're 46 active. Here's the thing. This is going to be Kyrie Lee. This is going to be where's Rogers? It's going to be a Royal. A Royal. You know what? I am going to actually still deactivate Kyrie Lee. So this is going to be Rogers. I'll put Thompson here. Thompson's a fast guy. Basic defense. So Ferguson, Washington's going to be behind him. So Nico Roby. Jones Quarty. This is going to be Callahan. Okay, looks good. Okay, now this is going to be Ferguson. This is going to be Nicorobi. Okay, looks good. So Ferguson's going to get the call here. Roby's going to be here. This will be Jones Quarty. This should be Jones Quarty, actually. This should be Callahan. Amos. I think. Yeah, Nathan looks good. That's McPhee, Goldman, Houston. Okay. Alright, guys. So in the next episode, we will go against. Actually, we are. In a bye week. So late this week. Go to Minnesota here. I really needed that. Jarvis Jenkins can come back. That's Jarvis Jenkins. That's big. Josh Norman's questionable. Let's keep him out. Actually, no. We are going to play Josh Norman. What we're going to do is we're going to hold out. Probably Bruce Callahan. Think about it. Ferguson, this can be Jenkins. Actually, Ferguson here. Let's mix it up a little bit. Josh Norman. This can be James Quarty. This can be Nicky Ruby. Looks good. Goal line. Pass rush, man to man. Actually, I should kick down Acho here and actually use Houston here. Yeah. Nickel. Jenkins. This is going to be Ferguson. Houston, McCall, McPhee. This is going to be Norman. This is going to be Roby. Dime. McPhee, Houston, Goldman, McCall and Jones. This is going to be Norman. This is going to be Roby. It's gonna be James. Okay. Roll Amos. Okay, cool. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Alright, guys. I will see you in the next episode as we take on the Minnesota Vikings, who are 5-1. We are 4-2. Detroit's only win is against us. They're 1-6. And so I will see you guys next time.